and get the job done.
Incredibly proud of these guys. I mean, they had every reason to find a way out, especially at the end of the game when they were exhausted and, they got in a little rut there. Toronto had some momentum. They got a lot of vets on the floor for Toronto and our guys, our young guys, and Kevin led us and Patty led us and BG led us, and those young guys picked up the slack and were outstanding. And most importantly, they didn't fold. They didn't fold. They never gave in, and they found a way to stay in the game even when it was difficult.
Saw you raising your arms to get the crowd engaged after that dive from Blake Griffin. Did that extra effort there kind of sum up the performance of your team? I know there were lulls here and there, but sure. Did that energy kind of sum up? Sure. I mean, you got to, I don't know how many years BG's been in the league, but you got a vet out here diving 30 feet away from the ball, sprinting after it, diving for it, knocking it out of bounds, and just showing how much he wants it and setting an example for his teammates. And, I wanted the crowd to give it up for him, for the effort he made, but also the effort these guys made all night to hang in there with a short bench.
Alex Schiffer. Steve, I think this was Kessler Edwards' third NBA game. Just what could you make of his performance, especially with some of those threes he hit in the fourth quarter to keep you guys in it?
I mean, he was outstanding. Obviously, 17-10, 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 threes. I mean, he started the game and he didn't run in for a dunk. He gave up an offensive rebound, and we just told him, play, be aggressive, have fun out there. You're a good player, show it. And man, he responded. So, really, really proud of him and all these guys.
Christian.
Hey, Coach, to close that third quarter, I believe you went with a lineup with Kevin and then 4 other rookies out there. I think you played Kevin, David, and Kessler, and maybe, I think it was Cam as well. Just what do you think that lineup, or just having Kevin out there with 4 rookies at one time, does for those guys? And then what kind of experience do you think that was for him, just being able to be out there with just such a young group and kind of guide them through?
I mean, we didn't have too many options, so that we're gonna find that at some point during the game, and it was, we had, an incredible night, lots of positives, but we had some tough stretches where we really suffered, the third quarter in particular, 44-25, down 19. So it wasn't pretty, but we had to weather it. And, then obviously won the fourth 29-20 to tie it up. But, we're just going to have to go through stretches like that with the roster we have right now. And we're going to expect these young guys to step in and play like they've been here before.
Brian.
Steve, what did the kind of experience that Patty has? I mean, obviously this guy, he's a seasoned winner, but I mean, how valuable was his experience in that fourth quarter? I mean, when you guys had kind of, had every opportunity to give up, and the shots that he hit and the plays that he made kind of kept you guys afloat and dragged you back into it.
Yeah, I mean, Patty's added so much to our franchise. He made big shots down the stretch. He's an incredible competitor. He's a clutch player. He's a proven winner, champion. What he did with Australia this summer, you could go on and on, but just his spirit and winning mentality and attitude is just off the charts. So, he's added so much to our group. He's been such a, guy that's tied it all together, that's spiritually held us together, that's, leaves it all out there. And obviously his game is speaks for itself, but it's the other stuff that you may not always recognize that are so valuable to our team. And, that fourth quarter performance, he deserves it, for everything he does for our team.
Tim Bontemps.
Hey, Steve, just if you wouldn't mind, could you go through kind of what your emotions were for the hour or so before the game, between when you talked to us and finding out about James and Bruce, and then kind of, having to try to figure out what to do and scramble from there?
Yeah, I try not to get too up and down about it. Just let all the information come in, kind of get a handle on what's coming down the pipeline and what decisions will have to be made, and just be calm. And, there's also a decision on Kevin's ankle and whether we could play the game at all. So, but Kevin wanted to play even under these conditions, and he was rewarded for that. But as far as coaches, we just try to stay calm. And our attitude was, let's pump these guys up. Let's show them we're going to have a great time tonight, regardless of who's in the lineup and who's not. And we have belief and confidence in you guys. And we want you to have a blast out there and compete and leave it all out there. And so that's what kind of where we put our focus rather than, what's happening, who's going to be in or out. Let's just make sure this is a positive approach and a spirited approach. And we give them belief.
How long of a period was there where you were? Did you think there might not be a game? Like kind of, because obviously at that point you guys are maybe down to 8 guys. Like how uncertain was the actual situation tonight before the game?
Yeah, I mean, we had to debate it. We had to debate, Kevin's situation. Obviously we're talking about a franchise player. We don't want to risk it. So we are probably more cautious than he is, but he really wanted to play. And so that was it. But you do obviously have to go through all that kind of those debates and what ifs and figure out the safest landing spot. And in the end, Kevin really wanted to play, and that was the decision.
Alex, Steve, I got 2 for you. I don't know if you would know this, but do you anticipate you guys going after some replacement players, given all the guys you have in protocol?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I think we have to see how what happens here in the next couple of days. But so I think I'd be speaking too soon to say so.
Steve, just curious what you thought of David Duke tonight with the double-double. Obviously, really aggressive on the offensive boards.
Yeah, I mean he does a lot of things on the basketball floor. He's a physical, athletic, strong defender. He like you saw, he can get his hands on the ball and deflections, steals, offensive rebounds. He's also a pretty good playmaker. He can get in the paint and make a good decision. And so he does a lot of things. We've always liked him, and we see a great future for him. But to see him get out there tonight in his first kind of extended action or second, I guess, with the Houston game, but tonight was really extended, and to see him respond that way was obviously kind of reinforcing what we see as an organization.